Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. This is a video to go over homework number 95, which will be arithmetic and geometric sequences with explicit and recursive and just a lot of review. Please make sure you post it on Google Classroom so you get credit for it. So as you know, yesterday I started some of this worksheet, some of your homework worksheet with you in yesterday's Ed puzzle. So I'm not going to go over all of it. I'm just going to go over what I did not finish with you yesterday. So here we go. It should be about 10 questions. So the first one was geometric. Each number you had to multiply by -6 to get to the next one. So R is -6. Number 2 was neither, and number 3 was also neither. So there's no common ratio, no common difference. For number 4, you had to add -20 each time. So because you were adding -20, this was arithmetic. Number 4, geometric. Each time you were multiplying by 2. So your common ratio is 2. And that is geometric. And then number 11, each time you were just adding 5, so the common difference was 5. So that was that section. Okay, so again, I did 13 with you, 14 you had to skip, so 15 you had to do on your own. So this was an arithmetic. You had to figure out the explicit, the recursive, and the first 5, and since you already figured out 1, just the next 4. So the explicit, a sub 1 is -34, common difference is -6. Please make sure this is in parentheses, must be in parentheses, must be in parentheses, otherwise it looks like you're subtracting, but you're really multiplying. After you distribute and combine like terms, you get -6n minus 28. Recursive, a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus d, so you're just really adding the -6, and make sure that you are telling me what a sub 1 is, so important. All right, for the next 4 terms, I use the explicit, because that's the one that I think is better to use. So each one, you're going to write the original first. N equal, for a sub 2, n is 2. For a sub 3, n is 3. A sub 4, n is 4. And for a sub 5, n is 5. For each of them, you're just basically plugging in, multiplying, and subtracting. You should get -40, -46, -52, and -58. So that was for question 15. Okay, on the back, I did 17 with you yesterday's video, so let's just go over number 19. So what do we have to do? This was just like the front, but it's now geometric. Okay, so explicit, a sub 1 was 2, your common ratio was 5, so a sub n equals 2 times 5 to the n minus 1. That's all that's needed for that. For the recursive, a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 times 5. Again, you have to tell me where a sub 1 is. Okay, make sure on your take home you also do that. Okay, for 2, 3, 4, and 5, again, I always go back to the explicit. I just think it's so much easier. But that's my personal opinion. So for here again, a sub 2, n equals 2, a sub 3, n equals 3, a sub 4, n equals 4, and a sub 5, n equals 5. So for each one of them plugging it in, you're working on those exponents first. You're figuring out the exponents for the 5s, and then multiplying, you should get 10, 50, 250, and 1250. So some big numbers. All right, and then the final 2, again, I did 21 and 23 for you. You had to do 22 and 24 on your own. So because of the plus 5, we know it's arithmetic. So I'm going to use the arithmetic exponential, not exponential, the explicit formula, excuse me. So a sub 1 is -2. The common difference is 5. Distribute, combine like terms, and you get a sub n equals 5n minus 7. For this one, again, I just used that formula. I wrote my originals. I plugged in here. N is 2, n is 3, and n is 4. A sub 2 wound up being 3. A sub 3 was 8, and a sub 4 was 13. All right, and last but not least, this one is probably the most important one, because this one is the trickiest one. This one was definitely geometric, and I showed you how it was multiplying, and then you just swap the order. Here, a sub 1 is 4. Okay, so because the base is negative, you have to put it in parentheses, okay? It's so important. You have to put this in parentheses. And then for here, 2, 3, and 4. This is a sub 2, a sub 3, and a sub 4. And again, notice I tried to highlight it for you to make it really stand out. All of these bases have to be in parentheses, even when you put it into the calculator. Okay, like over here, -3 squared. Let me just show you. If I do -3 squared, I'm going to get -9. But I know that is not right, because I know -3 times -3 is +9. So for some reason, I don't know, these really expensive calculators, I don't register the negatives. You have to, make sure that you put that in parentheses to get the +9, or again, it's really just essentially doing -1 times 3 squared. That's really what the calculator's doing. So be really careful. So this a sub 2 is -12, a sub 3 is 36, and a sub 4 equals -108. If you got anything different, especially on this one, it might have been that calculator. So be super careful. All right, so that is it. Hopefully you did okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. All right, bye.